Hey my fellow monsters, welcome to my channel. I'm Lydia, aka Mama Monster, and here we do everything horror. So today we are talking about 34 years of horror. What does that mean? Well, I actually saw this idea on TikTok and I thought it was really cool. There were quite a few people talking about their favorite movie from each year they were alive. So 34 years of horror, because I am 34 years old, if you did not know. So I'm going to do a little bit different. This was kind of hard to narrow it down, so I decided to do 3 movies from each year that I really love, and then I'll just say what my favorite movie out of those 3 movies are. So if this is something you're interested in, grab a snack, maybe a drink, and let's get into it. Okay, so we're starting off this list with obviously the best year ever because moi was born in 1987. This year actually had a good amount of horror movies that came out that I enjoy, but I narrowed it down to The Stepfather, The Lost Boys, and Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors. I feel like a lot of people would gravitate more towards Dream Warriors because everybody loves that sequel. It's not my favorite sequel, but I do highly enjoy it. I love The Lost Boys. It's a classic. Vampires, if you know, I am obsessed with vampires. But honestly, I'm going with The Stepfather with this one. I know it wouldn't be probably the popular choice, but I highly enjoy it. I love the opening and it's something different, and I have a good time with the whole franchise. So yeah, 1988. This was another great year for horror movies I absolutely love. We have Night of the Demons, obsessed with it. One of my all-time favorite movies. The Kiss, I grew up watching The Kiss, and I feel like a lot of people don't either know about it or just don't talk about it enough. I can't find it streaming anywhere, and I've tried to find it on DVD for my collection, but the prices are outrageous. But if you have not seen it, I would look into it. It's a good 80s film. And then the next one, we are going with Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, and that is what I'm going with because not only is it my favorite Freddy movie, but it is one of my all-time favorite movies, period. It is one of my go-tos. I grew up watching this and I just love it so much. So 1989. So the first one is Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. If you saw my ranking, you would know that this is actually my favorite Jason movie. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I love it. The next movie is Sleepaway Camp 3. I absolutely love this franchise. Sleepaway Camp 3 was actually my first Sleepaway Camp movie that I saw. It's just a good time. But if you know me, my all-time favorite movie is from this year, Pet Sematary, so I can't go with anything else. Next year is 1990, which had some great movies as well. We have It, which is obviously a classic. We have Clive Barker's Nightbreed, which I only saw 2 years ago, I think, for the first time, but I highly enjoyed it. But I am going with Child's Play 2 because it is not only one of the best sequels made, in my opinion, but I love Chucky's look. I love just the story in it, and I love the practical effects. It's just a good time. Next year is 1991. We have The People Under the Stairs, Child's Play 3, and Silence of the Lambs. The People Under the Stairs is another Wes Craven classic. I grew up watching this movie. It's such a good time. Child's Play 3, like for a really long time, was always my favorite Child's Play, but I feel like it's kind of changing now. I haven't done a ranking yet, but I do want to rewatch all of them just to see where my mind's at, but I love it still. The next one is Silence of the Lambs, and that is what I'm going with because Hannibal Lecter. What more can I say? Buffalo Bill. It gives me everything I need from a movie. 1992. Candyman, Sleepwalkers, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So this was actually really easy for me to pick. Candyman, one of my all-time favorite movies. It is a beautiful story. It is just beautifully done. Tony Todd is terrifying in this movie, and I just love the relationship between him and Helen. If you can hear my dog snoring, I'm sorry. But on to the next year, 1993. First, we have Jason Goes to Hell, which obviously is not the best movie. This movie actually grew on me, and I seem to have enjoyed it more lately. Not the best, but it's a good time, I think. Then we have Return of the Living Dead 3, which is just an overall fun movie. And then Jurassic Park. And yes, Jurassic Park is a horror movie. I don't care what you say. And that is what I'm choosing because it is one of the best movies ever. It is so suspenseful, so much action, and there's terrifying moments in it. So yeah. Moving on to 1994, we have Interview with the Vampire, Night of the Demons 2, and A New Nightmare. All great movies in my opinion. I love New Nightmare. It is one of the movies that I can watch all the time. Interview with a Vampire is just a beautiful movie. Vampires, once again, you know I love vampires, but I'm going with Night of the Demons Part 2 in this one because I love it. I really love Night of the Demons franchise. It's one of my favorites. Night of the Demons 2 was actually the first Night of the Demons I saw. So over the years, I've realized that I grew up watching a lot of the sequels before the originals just because I would like catch them on the TV or something. Was this a thing? Is this something y'all did too? Or y'all would wait? Because I don't know. But I absolutely love Night of the Demons 2. 1995, we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. I know everyone probably hates this movie, but I still think it's fun. I do feel like they copied a lot from the original and just tried to make it their own thing, and it didn't work as well, but maybe I just love Matthew McConaughey. I don't know. Also, we have Species, which is a fun movie, but I'm going with Demon Knight because it's Demon Knight. Okay, so 1996, we have Bad Moon, Thinner, and Scream. I don't even have to say anything. Y'all know. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know. Next year is another great year for horror. We have Scream 2, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Campfire Tales. If you have not seen Campfire Tales, I highly recommend it. It is cheesy, but it is a real good time, I think. It is about a group of friends that get in an accident, they get stranded, so they're sitting there, you know, around the fire, and they decide to tell ghost stories. So that's all I really want to say about it, but it is a fun time in my opinion. I absolutely love Scream 2, the opening, one of the best openings ever in my opinion. But I think with this one, I have to go with I Know What You Did Last Summer. It is a classic in my opinion, definitely is one of my comfort movies, and I just love it. And the whole cast is 1998. So this year was actually really hard to narrow down. We have Halloween, H2O, The Faculty, and Bride of Chucky. I mean, what more can I say? H2O is one of my favorite Halloween movies. I know there's some plot holes, but I absolutely love it. I feel like it has more action than most of them, and I think that's why I enjoy it than most. Bride of Chucky, it's Bride of Chucky. Love it. But I'm gonna have to go with The Faculty in this one. The Faculty is just a classic, and I feel like it needs more love. It needs more love. It is so good. So fun. Josh Hartnett, what more can I say? 1999, we have The Sixth Sense, Deep Blue Sea, and The House on Haunted Hill. Sixth Sense, great movie. I think this is a great beginner horror movie for people that are just now getting into horror with a great twist. House on Haunted Hill, I mean, it's a good time. We've seen the stories over again, but it's fun. I'm going with Deep Blue Sea on this one because if you know, we love sharks in this house, and Deep Blue Sea is one of my all-time favorite movies, my all-time favorite shark movies. So that's what I'm going with. Okay, so the year 2000, we have, of course, Final Destination, one of the best opening scenes ever, which led to a great franchise. Then we have Ginger Snaps, a great werewolf movie, a great coming of age story. I just love it. But this one, if you know me well, you know I'm gonna pick this because I've been obsessed with this movie since I was like 13 years old. I know it's classified as a thriller, but it is a horror in my opinion. And we are going with Battle Royale. I mean, do you see that? Oh, wrong way. Do you see that? Do you see that? Obviously, such a good movie. It's just, oh, it just means so much to me. I can go talk about it for days, but it's brilliant. I love it. Yeah. 2001, we have The Others, 13 Ghosts, and Jason X. Love all of them. I mean, Jason X, another one that grew on me. I mean, for me, it's one of the best kill scenes in there, though, ever. But I'm going with 13 Ghosts on this one. Early 2000s movie, Matthew Lillard. I love the ghost in the film. Yeah. So 2002, we have May, Cabin Fever, and The Ring. I mean, I love Cabin Fever. I love the gore in it. May is, oh, it's so good, so underrated. But I'm going with The Ring on this one because The Ring is such a good movie. I feel like this is a good beginning movie for horror fans as well, but it would be like more scarier. I just think it is beautifully shot. And honestly, I always say I don't like movies when they touch foreign films, but I think this one, they did it right. That's all I'm gonna say. 2003, another hard year for me to choose from. No, it really was. I had Wrong Turn, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, and High Tension to choose from. I think it was kind of easy for me to narrow it down to these three, but between these three, I don't know. The Texas Chainsaw Remake is one of my all-time favorite remakes. I am obsessed with it. It's one movie that I can watch over and over again. I just love Wrong Turn so much. I feel like when it first came out, it was something I have never really seen before. Yeah, we have like Hills Have Eyes, you know, vibes, but Wrong Turn, oh, I absolutely love it. I just rewatched it the other day, and it's just such a good time. But I'm gonna have to go with High Tension on this one because High Tension is one of my all-time favorite movies as well. And I love French horror. I love the gore. I love how it ends. If you have not seen it, I won't say anymore, but it is just a very bloody fun time. Okay, so 2004 we have Shaun the Dead, which is one of my favorite zombie horror comedy movies. We have The Grudge, which is another great foreign remake, I think. But I'm going with Saw on this one because Saw, one of the best twists ever, and I just love this franchise as well, and it is a classic in my opinion. Okay, so the next year was a great year as well because 2005 is the year that I graduated high school. We have The Descent, which is a movie that I will always recommend to somebody to watch. It is scary, just even with the claustrophobia aspect of it, and then you add these creatures, it's scary. Then we have Hostel. I missed my finger. Then we have Hostel. Hostel is not everybody's cup of tea, but it is my cup of tea, and I love it. But I'm going with House of Wax because this is another favorite remake for me. I have such a good time. I always say, it's a guilty pleasure, but no, I don't feel guilty because I love it and it's a good time. And it has a great story. It has great kills. It has great, just everything about this movie. It's a good time. Okay, 2006, we have the Hills Have Eyes remake, Hatchet, and Final Destination 3. I love Hatchet. Victor is the underrated villain. He really is, because have you seen those kills? Have you seen them? Let me know, because yeah. Hills Have Eyes remake is really good as well. I do really enjoy it, but I'm gonna have to go with Final Destination 3 because this is definitely a comfort movie for me. I love everything about this film. I love the opening scene. I mean, I love most of all the opening scenes of the Final Destination franchise, but me as a thrill seeker, riding roller coasters, yeah, that did something for me. I know I keep saying this was a great year for horror, but 2007 was also a great year for horror. We have The Orphanage, which I think is an underrated, foreign film that needs to be talked about more. We have Dead Silence, James Wan, he did that. And 30 Days a Night, which once again, vampires. I love vampires, and I love 30 Days a Night, one of my all-time favorite vampire movies. But I'm going with Dead Silence because this is my favorite James Wan movie, and I'm obsessed with it, so yeah. So first of all, I realized after the fact that I did not put Inside on my list, and Inside definitely deserves a spot on this list because it is one of my all-time favorite movies, and it definitely wins for 2007. I'm obsessed with that movie. I'd probably bump down The Orphanage, unfortunately, but I do want to say that The Orphanage is highly underrated in my opinion. It is a beautiful Spanish Gothic ghost story that needs to be seen. 2008, we have Eden Lake, The Strangers, Saw 5, which I enjoy all of them. Eden Lake, great. It's great. Love Saw 5, love the Saw franchise. But I'm going with The Strangers on this one because home invasions is right underneath slashers. Favorite subgenre. The Strangers has that eerie ambiance in the movie, and it just gives off that vibe. It's really quiet but also very loud at the same time, and it's just creepy, and I love it. Okay, so 2009 we have The Collector, Orphan, and Jennifer's Body. The Collector, another movie that I saw after the sequel. I saw The Collection before I saw The Collector. Love them, love both of them. Jennifer's Body, classic, it's great. But I'm going with Orphan because Orphan probably is one of the twists that made my jaw drop, and I will never forget it, and I think it's a great time. Okay, so 2010 has Insidious, which is obviously great. Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which is one of my all-time favorite horror comedies, and I Saw the Devil. I am choosing I Saw the Devil. I have recently just watched it, and oh my goodness, was my mind blown. It is a gore fest. It is hard to watch for some. I mean, I feel like this, you know, either you love it or you're like, oh, it's too much, but I absolutely loved it. So that is what I'm going with. Okay, so 2011, we have Scream 4, You're Next, and Cabin in the Woods. Honestly, I didn't think I would choose anything over Scream 4 because I love Scream 4 so much, but You're Next wins for me on this one. You're Next is such a good home invasion movie. One of my favorite final girls, Erin. It is just such a good time. For some reason you have not watched this movie, right after you watch this video, run, not walk, run, and go watch it right now. Not right now, after this video. So yeah. Well, actually, before I say this list, I do want to say all the rest of the year's all hard to choose from. Like, there's such good movies every year from here on out. But 2012, we have Sinister, American Mary, and The Collection. I think I'm gonna go with American Mary on this one because I feel like it's underrated and has some good body horror in it, and I really like body horror. And yeah. So 2013, we have The Conjuring, The Green Inferno, and The Purge. Like I said, all great movies. I am going with The Green Inferno on this one. And that's only because I just love gory movies and I can't help it. I can't help deny it. I love it. I love it. 2014, we have Creep, Clown, and A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. So I've said this before, I'm not big or huge or even a little bit excited about found footage. Just one of my least favorite subgenres. But I will say that Creep is probably my favorite found footage movie. I love it. I love the story. The actor did an amazing job and it's creepy. Clown, man, Clown is underrated. I feel like Clown has the scariest clown out of all the films I've seen about clowns, honestly. But I'm going with A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night with this one. This film, if you have not seen it, this is a beautiful, beautiful Iranian film about a vampire. You know, I love vampires, but she's a beautiful vampire. It's in black and white. Obviously, the language is Persian, so subtitle, but it is just an amazing film. It won't be for everybody, but I do hope, like, if you have not seen it, you would watch it and just try it out. Also directed by a woman, which is a plus. Honestly, just such a beautiful and well done movie in my opinion. Absolutely love it. 2015, we have Tag, The Final Girls, and Tales of Halloween. Tales of Halloween is a great anthology. Tag is a great action horror Japanese film. If you saw my favorite opening scenes, that is on there. It is very thought-provoking. The film itself, it's a lot of stuff is going on in there. It's great though. But I will go with The Final Girls on this one because it is a horror comedy. I love all the colors in it. I love the acting. I love the story, and I love the humor. Just everything about it. It's just a good time in my opinion. So 2016. This was really hard for me. We have Terrifier, Train to Busan. But I'm going with Hush because I will probably most likely usually choose a home invasion film. I mean, slashers, like I said, are my favorite, but Hush definitely is in my top 3 favorite like home invasion films. One of my top favorite movies. I absolutely love Mike Flanagan and his work. He is just brilliant. I mean, honestly, I would watch it every day because I love it that much. So 2017, we have Happy Death Day, One Cut of the Dead, and 47 Meters Down. Love 47 Meters Down. Love sharks. Happy Death Day is just an overall fun movie, but I love One Cut of the Dead because this film is just so much fun. It is not what you expect, honestly. It's a great movie if you're into filmmaking as well, if you love zombies. There's just so much that goes into this film. My sister had told me about it, and I'm so glad I watched it because seriously, you will not be disappointed. Just watch it if you have not seen it. Do it. Okay, so we're at 2018. We have Suspiria Remake, Incident in a Ghostland, and The Strangers Pray at Night. The Strangers Pray at Night is, seriously, I love it. I you know, it changed the vibe from the first one. It's more of a just like a fast action going slasher, and I love that. I love the pool scene. It's iconic. Suspiria Remake I thought was amazing. I may have or may have not cried a little bit. I mean, I don't know who does that. I'm not saying I did. I'm just saying maybe I did. But I'm going with Incident in a Ghostland in this one. Another home invasion movie. But man, this is another French movie. They do speak English though. It is just such a good time. So much is going on, so much action. It's a gore fest as well, and there's some twists and turns in it that you may not expect, and it is just an overall good time, and I feel like this movie needs more love. So 2019, we have Ready or Not, Haunt, and Dr. Sleep. Dr. Sleep and Haunt really are one of my favorite movies that came out 2019. I've always said that. Ready or Not is such a fun movie. It has a great final girl. Haunt is definitely a movie that needs to be watched on Halloween every year. I mean, I'll watch it 365 days out the year, but this movie is amazing. I love haunted house movies, but this one is my fave. It's so good, and like I didn't expect it to be so good, but it is. But I'm going with Dr. Sleep, another Mike Flanagan movie. It is beautifully done. I'm obsessed with it, and I'm sorry, I rather watch Dr. Sleep than The Shining. I love The Shining, but I'd rather watch Dr. Sleep. So next is 2020. Okay, so we have Invisible Man, Freaky, and Alive. I love Alive. It is a Korean zombie film. You know, fast zombies. I love that. It is just a very well done movie. Freaky, fun time. Vince Vaughn. You know, I mean, I feel like everything he's in, it's a good time, but his character in this was great, and it's just a fun movie. But I'm going with The Invisible Man on this one because it was perfect in my opinion. We have great actors. It was very well done, very well shot, just everything about it, you know, fucks with your mind. It's great. It's great. Okay, so now we're at 2021, and honestly, I feel like 2021 was a great year for horror. And I don't know if it's because all the movies were pushed back because of the pandemic and everything, but holy cow, we had a lot of movies last year, and I'm not tripping about it. I love it. My top movies, I know people will probably argue with me about this, but A Quiet Place 2, Last Night in Soho, and Malignant. And I know Malignant was, you know, split. You either loved it or you hated it, but I loved it. It was a good time. Quiet Place 2 was an amazing sequel. I did a review on it. I loved it. I really loved it. But I have to go with Last Night in Soho because this movie was amazing in my opinion. I thought it was brilliant. It was very well done, very well shot, cinematography, the acting, the twist, just everything about it was it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So here we are. We have made it to 2022, and it is only April, but I mean, there has been some good movies that have released already, and I am choosing Scream, X, and Fresh. Oh, great. But honestly, I have to go with Fresh because Fresh was fresh. Something new, something we have not seen. The acting was amazing. It felt so natural. I love the story behind it. I love the humor behind it. It was just an overall beautiful movie in my opinion. I loved it. It was just very well done. So yeah, we've made it to the end, and although you probably do not want to write all your favorite movies from each year you've been alive, so maybe down below write down your favorite movie from the year you were born. I would love to know. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know every time I upload. My social media will be down below. I would love to have you over there. It's always a good time meeting and chatting with new friends. So yeah, until next time, bye.